Hello everybody, welcome to the live stream. Probably just going to do a short one tonight, but I wanted to hop back on. Got a few more updates. Got a little bit of progress in on the sign there. As you might be able to tell, some of the gaps have been filled in, and it's starting to look pretty good in here, I think. And then now the goal is just to let those ferns and everything sort of begin to grow up and start covering up certain areas in the wires and things like that. Hey there, everyone. Welcome, Ellen. Good to see you, Brenda. Hey there, Jenny. Hey, Gary. Good to have you guys. Glad everybody is seeing the live stream, at least a few of you out there. Hey there, Colleen. Welcome. Obviously, as always, if you're liking the live streams, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you can share it, it always helps as well. So we do have a right off the bat a brand new episode coming out tomorrow. I was trying to get it out today, but I didn't get done editing in time. I had a few things that I needed to fix a little bit, and so I took my time, decided that would be the best thing to do, as always. And so we're just going to put it out probably tomorrow, either tomorrow morning or afternoon. I'm not quite sure yet. I have another episode that it's ready to go, but I didn't feel like it was really the proper time to upload that one. I wanted to do something else in between, so I went out a few days ago and did some filming, and got a couple different episodes filmed, and some pretty good, some pretty cool stuff. And yeah, I think it's gonna be really neat. I went to a place, I'm not sure if we actually had been there before or if it had just been a really long time. I know that I had driven past it before, and I'm pretty sure that I'd shown it on film, but ended up finding a place that had changed quite a bit, so I stopped off and visited what possibly may be again. I'm not really sure. So make sure to check that out on the 539 channel tomorrow, and let me know what you think, if you remember it. Again, I found some stuff there that I didn't think that I had seen before, but of course I've been to so many different places over the years that it's hard to tell anymore. So yeah, I'll kind of leave that up to you guys, see what you think. So yeah, we got that one coming out, and then we'll have a new episode on Saturday that'll be coming out, and then another new one next Tuesday. That way, well, I guess I should say that the new episode is probably coming out today, because for me it is Wednesday now, so it will be Wednesday that the first new 539 episode is coming out, and not Thursday. So yeah, so looking probably, trying to think what the best time usually is, to be honest. Sometimes I've been trying to put them out like more evening hours, obviously Eastern Standard Time, because I feel like if I put it out like around 7 o'clock, I've got the Eastern Standard Time zone where everybody's kind of sitting down, starting to relax for the night, and then then there's their Central and Mountain time zones, and I feel like, it's starting to get to that time, and then it's getting close to the time, and, Pacific time that, they're going to start, getting off of work and things like that. So I'm really trying to play it out in my head what the best time is to post them. So I don't really know, that's my thought. So if it doesn't end up coming out until evening and you're in Eastern Standard Time, you'll have to forgive me. I'm just doing it because I feel like it's the best possible thing for the channel. So thank you, Colleen. I appreciate that. So yeah, as always, I do have Discord up and running if anybody wants to pop on and talk any tattoo stories or anything like that. And obviously also, let me pause my own stream here so I don't overwhelm my computer. All right. But yeah, tattoo stories, travel stories. The invite is below. If you have Discord installed already, just click on the link in the description below and it'll take you over there. I'm not sure exactly on mobile how that works. Obviously, you might have the Discord app installed, and so if you click on that, you can hop on over to the proper server, and that should take you directly to, I believe, the lobby. So the lobby is an open room. Anybody can come in and hang out there. If you click on it, it doesn't mean you're instantly on air. It's just a link to a waiting room. You don't have to broadcast your voice also. There is a place just to chat. So if you guys want to check it out and you don't want to have your voice heard, you can mute yourself. And then, of course, I have an on-air room. And if anybody wants to come on and talk any stories, I can pull you in on there. And we can chat live here on the stream. And everybody out there will be able to hear you. So that's something that you want to do, let me know. You can obviously head over to the Discord and then hit me up in the chat over there. Just send me a text message. Works the same way that the YouTube chat works. So, yeah. Open invite there. Again, I don't really know what everybody's comfortable with. If Discord is something that you're completely unused to, I understand. But it's always open. And again, in the future, we will be having a few scheduled guests here. However, as always, I just like to get on here and hang out, as well as, it helps to be on a more regular basis for the YouTube algorithm. Well, sort of algorithm. It's kind of different since it's a non-monetized channel, but hopefully it'll help out. It seems to, at times anyway, help out. But then again, you never really can tell what YouTube's going to do on any given night, so I'm just kind of trying to survive at this point. But, oh yeah, and I, as you can probably see behind me, I have gotten the grow light reinstalled. I actually used an old lamp that I wasn't using, and so I just connected it at the top, and it kind of looks cool. It looks like a street lamp now, I feel like, and yeah, I'm liking it so far. Let me know what you guys think. So I feel like it also, like I said in the stream we did last time, the light kind of really highlights the plants, and so you guys can actually see them, and that's what I didn't really like about only having the colored lights on, because it kind of makes the plants look all dark. Unless I'm streaming during the day, you really can't enjoy it. So yeah, I was kind of thinking, what could I do? I was either going to start drilling into the ceiling, or my other option was find another way. So I decided to pull this old lamp out of storage and utilize it. So thanks, Gary. Exploring Israel's history. Hey there. Thanks for joining us here. Good to see you in the live stream. Good morning to you too. It is very, very early morning for me. Literally just turned morning less than an hour ago. So, but yeah, thank you all for joining me tonight. Again, make sure to give it a thumbs up if you're enjoying. Again, if anybody has any questions or anything about any of the semi-recent episodes now, let me know. Or any questions about upcoming travel. I think it is, about 10 or 11 days now, and I get my second shot. And so I'm thinking probably somewhere around the end of May, I'll probably take a longer trip. And like I said, last time, we might end up starting with doing kind of a loop up through Michigan and into the Upper Peninsula and around into Wisconsin and back down again. So we might just do a full loop and sort of create a couple different series and styles of videos and sort of test things out. I also have a potential few new ideas I'm going to be trying, so I'm not really sure how ready I am to announce anything. I may try to do, like I said, another channel if the algorithm is sort of only going to promote the cemetery videos and stuff like that. So I might end up trying that out here pretty soon. And yeah. Where would I like to go abroad? Oh, 8:55 there. Oh, that's not as far ahead as what I would have guessed. I mean, I'd like to go anywhere, to be honest. I mean, obviously, I would love to explore Israel sometime. Europe and everywhere. I'd love to go to Africa, Australia. I mean, I can't really name a place that I wouldn't want to check out. Yeah, I've been trying to plan an international trip. Obviously, a lot of that got set back when 2020 happened, so I really haven't been making any permanent plans, and especially with everything that's going on right now, I won't go back into any long descriptions of anything like we did last week, but especially with some of the issues that the channel's been running into, I'm not going to plan anything out right now, but definitely going to be in the future. So as soon as I get everything kind of figured out and back on track, and we're post-vaccine and everything, then we'll start that process again, working towards the future. So, but yeah, definitely have plans to go abroad, even to some closer places. I would like to head up into Canada here at some point in the near future. It's a place that I've been a few different times before, and so yeah, I would like to get back there and get it actually on film. And there's a few things that I did. I don't know if I would really necessarily take the same route that I did last time. Well, depending on, I guess, which time we're talking about. I mean, a long time ago, I took a long train ride into Canada, and I think that would be an interesting one. Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to see. But at the very least, I'm looking forward to doing, at least a road trip that's going to take me out and about for about a week or so, And I think that's about what I need to really make a decent series. Like I said, I'm going to try and make not only a series more along the lines of the road trip, but also make a few different just sort of singular episodes about locations in much in the way that we do things now in 539. And then from there, I'm going to have to decide whether I'm going to release the road trip series on a brand new channel, or if I'm going to... I think I hear people outside. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to have to figure out if I'm going to release that on a new channel or if I'm going to release it on the 539 channel, because I'm just not really sure, because, again, if YouTube's just going to sort of smother anything that I try to do that's new or out of line with, what's really popular on the channel, then maybe I'll just put that series on a new channel and see how it does. So yeah, I might be making that announcement. We'll see. The last time that I announced a brand new channel, it didn't do too terribly, honestly. It took not very much time at all to pass the 1,000 mark. I guess it probably kind of did, but that was only because we took a break for such a long time. Had I really kept the second channel going a little bit better over the years, I think that we would have been in a much better place right now. But that's the past, so we'll figure it out. But excuse me, I also am sort of floating around an idea too that we're first going to try it here on this channel. So I guess I can just say it because we're going to try on this channel first. I'm going to start releasing clips, essentially. A lot of, if anybody watches podcasts out there, a lot of you know that they'll also have another channel that releases shorter clip versions of different subjects that were talked about throughout the live stream or the podcast or whatever it is. Hey there, Ellen. Welcome, or welcome back, possibly. Good to have you here, either way. So yeah, not just for this whole thing, like the podcast. I may go through occasionally and pull off shorter segments from the podcast, or the live streams like we're doing right now. I guess this isn't technically a podcast tonight, but I might be doing that too, but also we'll probably be doing some shorter 539 clips. So, and if that works out well on this channel, then we'll roll with it. And if it doesn't, then I might start a new channel for that under probably just be under the name 539 Clips. And yeah, I'll kind of use it as a way. I figure if I'm starting a brand new channel from scratch, then the algorithm or whatever algorithm controls the non-monetized newer channels, whatever, since it's kind of cryptic, but what it looks like and what we assume that it is that there's two algorithms, one for monetized and corporate content and one for non-monetized and small channels, as a way to essentially protect YouTube from potential scandals. The monetization process doubles as sort of the content check of your channel. So it's a way for YouTube to verify that not only are you getting enough followers and enough view hours and have enough videos on your channel and all these other metrics, but it's also a way to look and see, do they have any offensive content, or do they have anything that might, potentially lose us some advertisers if an ad break rolls on one of these videos. And so it makes it a little bit harder to get seen when you're smaller, because it's like the main algorithm is essentially ignoring you in a lot of ways, but it's not impossible. So the idea is that by releasing these clips either on this channel or on a brand new channel, we could attract new people to sort of revive, especially a lot of the other videos that, for whatever reason, the algorithm thinks that no one wants to watch, and so it doesn't promote them, it doesn't notify anybody. Like if you say hit the subscribe button while you're watching a cemetery video, then it's unlikely that even if you hit the notification bell and turn your notifications on, they probably are not going to notify you on things like adventure travel. So if it's me doing this crazy hike to like a natural like the pillars that we did, or like Chain Rock in Kentucky, or the floating edition in Tennessee, YouTube is basically gonna be like, yeah, that's never going to work. We're not going to bother. So it's very unlikely now that they'll even tell anybody about those. So it's kind of crazy. So yeah, I figured that maybe by doing these clips of various things, probably less than 5-minute videos of different topics and different things that happen on the 539 videos that didn't necessarily have to do with the actual subject matter of the video. So that's the idea anyway. So I'm thinking it's going to end up on probably a brand new channel. It's probably not something I'll promote because, I don't know, I might. But I kind of want it to grow organically as well. And if I start sending a ton of people over from 539 that are only going to watch certain types of videos, then it's going to very quickly pigeonhole that second or that fourth, third whatever it may be channel by that time. So that's what I'm kind of worried about. So yeah, I may kind of keep it from everybody for a while. The idea is I'm going to make a just ton of clips here over the next few days. And then I will probably try the clips right here for like maybe a month max. And if I don't feel like the clips are working over on the second channel here, then we're going to place all the clips on their own brand new channel. And then I'll tell you guys at some point in the future. And then if anybody here finds it, then who cares? I mean, obviously, even the YouTube live algorithm doesn't seem to care about this channel anymore, so it's kind of just up in the air. Usually when we get to 3 or 4 streams, though, it seems like it does turn around, so I think it's more that than anything else. And the fact that I was a little bit later than normal this time around. No worries. Well, yeah, I mean, you got to start somewhere with YouTube. So, I mean, you got to be very small at some point. You know, we were all there. You know, I remember getting excited about having 15 subscribers, you know. I still remember that. Many, many thousands upon thousands of people ago. But for whatever reason, it never does get better, though. I will say that. No matter how many, well, no matter what count you get to, it's never good enough. I think you fool yourself, and then you tell yourself that, you know, once I've hit 1,000, I know what it's like to at least have 1,000 subscribers. Then that'll be enough, and then if nothing else happens from there, I'll be satisfied that at least I did that. And then you hit 1,000, and it's totally not like that at all. And that's not bad. And farm stuff actually is becoming more and more popular, to be honest. I randomly get suggested like tractor videos and stuff, and some of these videos have like hundreds of thousands and millions of views. Yeah, it's starting to get real popular. So it's just all about, you got to have those good thumbnails, you got to have good tags, good titles, and you'll build it. But not that it's not hard work, though. But sometimes the hardest stuff is what actually is in the background, you know. I may get to travel a lot, but at the same time I also have to sit down and, I mean, I love editing on both Photoshop and doing video editing, so it's not a big hassle to me, but at the same time, you know, there's hours and hours of time where I'm not actually on the road doing a road trip, doing these crazy things. You know, there's times I'm just sitting here just doing this, and instead of talking to all of you, I'm just staring at the screen, you know, making very small, minute changes, you know, and that was hours and hours of my time today too, you know. Should I eliminate 0.2 of a second on this clip to make it feel better when it transitions to the next clip? Do I need to have a 2-second or a 3-second, you know, lapse or interchange in between, you know, the audio tracks, or, you know, should this be slightly warmer or black and white, or do I need to adjust the contrast? So, you know, it gets really technical and challenging in the background, and that's kind of half the work, I feel like. But once you do that, I mean, you get to a point where it's easier, you know. No worries, I'm always happy to give advice. But yeah. And one of the big things that really helped me grow early on was you got to find a core group. So, like, for instance, if you are doing farm stuff, you know, find a few other farm channels and start a relationship, an online relationship, obviously, and that's what I did. I found other people that were releasing content like me, and I made friends, and a lot of these people that I've worked with on camera are people that I knew for years before off camera. These were people I was talking to for a long time, and and then we finally one day got the opportunity to get together in real life and actually make some stuff together. So I feel ya. Yeah, there's lots of interesting ways around that, though. Some people's thing is kind of the highly edited, highly technical videos. Some people's videos are more along the lines of hit record and go. Editing can be as simple as, adjust the volume a little bit and adjust the picture a little bit and then hit upload. It doesn't have to be super technical. That's definitely something that I like. For sure, I try to make, if I can make it look like, something you would see on television or in a movie, or crazy cuts or camera work or whatever, then I definitely try to do that. But that's not the only way to do it. And then on the other side, there's also things like live streaming. Sometimes it might be popular, if you're doing something to just hop on a live stream and just sort of carry something around with you that you can sit down from time to time. Just sort of like my camera right here is actually my phone. It's on a little tripod. Hey there, Francisco. Welcome, Roy. Good to have you guys. So yeah, I mean, it's something as simple as that, broadcast to Twitch, and, every once in a while, just like I do, glance over and answer, a question or, talk about what you're doing, narrate kind of a little bit, but at the same time, you can find ways that the content can sort of work its way into your life instead of, taking time out of your life. And that's what you kind of got to find. There's no one way that's really the best way. It's just really find a way that works for you and just try and get as good as you can at doing that way. Hey there, welcome to the live stream. Good to have you. But yeah, thank you all for joining me. Hey there, Shauna. Ja. I hope I'm not missing anybody. Thanks, everyone, for joining again. Don't forget to give a thumbs up if you're enjoying. And if you have any questions or comments, let me know. Any 539 questions, let me know. Again, still looking for anybody that wants to talk any tattoo stories from either side. Giving them or receiving them, or travel, So, yeah. But yeah, there's all kinds of interesting ways to make it, and really just if that's something that's important, if it's not important, then it's definitely something that can just be always a hobby too. It doesn't have to be the sole focus or something that you're intending to make a career out of. For me personally, I like filmmaking in general, so it's something I do want to make a career out of. I already have a career in photography and information technology, and so I already have some skill sets that help me out there. So moving over into filmmaking was something that I always wanted to do anyway, and so yeah, it made sense. Oh, no worries. If you don't have any tattoos, that's all good. I'm obviously never judging, but if anybody does have stories, then obviously I'm open. Obviously, like I said, travel stories too. So if you have any crazy travel stories, more than welcome to share those as well. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of great ways to get started. So yeah, you just gotta, and there's lots of great videos out there to help you, things like that. So obviously, um, everyone's gonna have a slightly different journey, but yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. How did I get into it? We talking tattoos or YouTube? Um, Tattoos. I was into punk rock, and then tattoos just followed because everybody had tattoos at the shows. At least a lot of people had tattoos, and obviously a lot of the band members had tattoos, and so it was just something that I was always interested in. And I kind of was as a kid too. I always liked the temporary tattoos, and I was pretty obsessed with those. So I think it was inevitable at a certain point that I was gonna get something. So that and piercings. I just always kind of liked that. I always liked the look, sort of. Yeah, I feel like again. And I know I've gone through this a ton of times on past podcasts about my thoughts on it, but it's just tattoos and piercings are the pretty much the oldest form, or one of the oldest forms of human culture. You know, art and expression and things like that were some of the, the oldest things that we have that really makes us who we are, you know. And yeah, and some of the oldest things that we find are cave paintings and tattoo, like, obviously, old like tattoo equipment, and not obviously not like the modern equipment that we have, but we have evidence that people were tattooing each other years and years ago, well, centuries and centuries, thousands and thousands of years ago. And so yeah, it kind of hits me on that level too, where it's like, I feel like it's a part of who we are, So, sorry, I'm just noticing that my two chats I have two different chats open, one from my actual studio and one updates sooner than the other. So sometimes I look over and I notice I have new comments, but they haven't propagated yet on the other chat window. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of my thought about tattoos, and I've kind of always, probably not so much on tattoos, but at least on piercings, I've always kind of been traveling while I've done it. And so that's always kind of been interesting to me. Not always 100% of the time, but like my first piercing I got when I was traveling with my friends in Kentucky. And then my second piercing, or piercings, I guess, which was my industrial, I got while I was taking a road trip with friends. And then I was on a road trip to Virginia with a friend of mine, and I got my tragus piercing. And so, I've always kind of had these kind of interesting stories surrounding those. And obviously, I haven't gotten super deep into it other than just sort of being like, well, I was in Virginia or whatever. I think I've gone into the Virginia story a little bit more at some point in the past. I guess if everybody's heard it, let me know. If not, I can retell that too. But yeah, that was kind of my idea. It's like everybody has these not just stories about what they're doing or why they're doing it, but also how they did it. And I think that's kind of a unique part of the experience too. Not that I don't want to hear the other stuff too. If you have a great backstory to a tattoo, and why you decided to get it and why it's so important to you, then obviously that would be something really amazing to hear too. Oh, hey, welcome back, Alan. Good to see you here on your other account. Yeah, I was wondering there for a second. I saw the name pop up. But yeah, I see that the picture is the same. So yeah, I'm trying to kind of carry on with that tradition. I'm trying to create some new traditions where, I'm trying to get tattooed more when I'm traveling, which might be more dangerous on multiple different levels, not knowing always what I'm getting into or how good the artwork is going to be. But I feel like that's part of the experience in the story too. But I want to get more into that, and especially getting stuff with other people. And not necessarily the same tattoo, but just, I feel like it's a great story, to say, we went out here together with a bunch of friends, and after, a long day of filming, we all went and got tattoos together. I think that would be something that not only would make some interesting content to share, but also, just a great story as well. So, I kind of want to make that happen myself, and again, I want to include everybody out there in that, because I think, not only would I like to hear it, but I think it's good content that people would like to hear as well. So I think it'd be really interesting. Can I draw my own? It would depend on what it was, but I definitely would not say drawing is one of my strong suits. But certain things I'm not terrible at. But I would rather have a good artist do it for me. As far as like making sort of a rudimentary layout that they could follow fairly easily with their own expertise, I definitely could do that, absolutely. So, but I wouldn't say I'm terrible. I'm just not. It's just not my specialty. But there are a lot of people out there that are way, way better than me. So I'll leave that up to them. They're working in that business because they're good at it, hopefully, and I'll stick to what I'm good at too. So, and then, yeah, if ever that changes, I guess I can do something different. I did think about. I know I guess a lot of people anyway have been experimenting during this whole lockdown situation with the hand tap tattoos and doing their own, essentially. I thought about doing that. I do know a local place that I can buy the all the equipment I need to do that, but I'm not sure if I trust myself enough to really put any real estate on my body in my own hands, I guess. Do I have a favorite one? Probably my palm tattoo. Probably the world tattoo. So, but I guess on a deeper level, no. Just because everyone means something different. I've never gotten really anything specifically only because I thought it looked cool. I've always kind of made it a point to have some sort of meaning behind it. And so, yeah, I guess every one of them's technically a favorite in one way or another. But, and then there's favorites in line of like, I'm a big checkmark person, so of course, I liked tattoos a lot, and so I wanted, to have that respect in the tattoo world. That when I walked into a tattoo shop, it wasn't like, I was just some random person off the street. I wanted that, I guess in a sense, that clout or whatever. I guess it was kind of a weird thing to chase at the time. But like, I did go for the painful stuff first. So the palm, obviously the back of my hand, my fingers, So, I mean, obviously my very first tattoo is my Green Day tattoo, and that was really not that painful at all, and it's a really easy area to get a tattoo in because it's so muscular. So it's a good metric too. If you don't have any other tattoos other than maybe something that's a real popular area for people to get something in, I feel like. And so if that's the only place you have a tattoo in, and you're looking on a scale of 1 to 10 on how painful other areas are, your top of your hands and your palms, those are going to be around your 10s. Your neck, the top of your feet, probably the bottom of your feet. Places that are incredibly bony are not going to be as friendly, depending on obviously how, if it's an area that has a lot of nerves, it's going to be worse. If it's something that doesn't have a lot, maybe it might not matter as much. Oh, did I say hi to Linda? Linda, welcome. I don't know if I said hi or not. I'm getting sidetracked on everything else. Or I guess keeping on track with the subject, so I guess that's not too terrible. So yeah, some of them were pretty painful, and I did attempt to do those designs first because I guess I was trying to challenge myself on one end, and I liked. It's nice to have that respect in a weird way. I mean, it is kind of interesting, and it really does. It is something that instantly when you walk in, it's like people start to sort of explain to you the process of what's about to happen, and this is going to hurt, and here's what it's going to feel like, and then of course they look at you and they're like, okay, wait, no, never mind. It's like, okay, you know what you're doing. You know what you're about to deal with. I don't have to explain anything to you, and you've gotten some of the stuff that certain people are find it to be a real challenge. So it's not something I'm going to be like, are you really sure that you want to do this? And of course it's always nice to have a tattoo guy look at you, and say, I've respect for what you've done, because you've done some areas that are challenging even maybe for artists themselves to get done, because they really are quite painful. So that was one of my thinking, but it never went into the design idea. I never did a design specifically just so it would be painful. Oh, that's really cool, Gary. Those sound really interesting. Yeah, the Celtic knots are really interesting. Celtic artwork in general I really like. Oh yeah, I really love dragons too. And yeah, those all sound really amazing. 5. Yeah, that's awesome. Another 4 plan. Yeah, I'm always thinking of new stuff in my head all the time. It's one of those things I can't really get away from. I'm hoping that's another thing I'm planning to do the end of next month. Once I get past my 14-day period after my second vaccine here, I'm gonna go out and get my septum re-pierced, and then I'm gonna get my left arm tattooed. Probably not like a sleeve, but a larger tattoo. So I've kind of talked about it a little bit in the past, but it's going to be kind of like a big mythical creature. It's going to be a big kraken tattoo that's going to have like some like tentacles coming down, like wrapping around my arm. And I'm realizing I'm pointing to my arms, and none of my arms are on camera, so it really doesn't matter. But yeah, it's going to be one of the bigger ones that I've gotten, and I think it'll look really cool. And I'm hoping maybe in the same visit to add some to my hands. Oh yeah, that sounds like a good one too. Yeah, you got a lot of very iconic mythical creatures as well as animals. So it'll be quite the collection you got. That sounds really interesting. Yeah, I'm also thinking of doing a few more stars on my hand, and then getting some shading to kind of pull it all together. Maybe actually underneath the lettering here in the center. I was thinking maybe to do like I'm not 100% sure. Either kind of a greenish, or I think maybe I was thinking of maybe doing like a orangish, because I have red here and blacks and purple and green, and I was looking for something that wouldn't hide anything, that would kind of accentuate everything and also bring it together. So I was thinking about maybe adding in a few black stars, and then I want to get a moon, like a crescent moon that looks like this style of star, like these stars on my middle finger and hand here, because I just thought that would look kind of interesting too. And then they get the shading kind of throughout the whole thing, and then coming up onto my wrist. And so I'll probably add in like a bunch of smaller stars and just have that follow the shading up and around the wrist. So I kind of to bring it together, because I feel like it's a good start, but it never was a finished work. I don't feel like I'm there yet. So yeah, release the Kraken. Yeah, one of my favorite mythical beasts, and kind of part of a bigger, elaborate plan that I might eventually have. So I have a few kind of mythical creatures and things that sort of have deeper meaning in some ways, but also things that I think would look really interesting as well, and I've done sort of basic designs, and so like I said, I want to kind of spruce that up and tie it together with the shading, and then add in some more artistic designs that really kind of highlight, what a really great tattoo artist is capable of. And that's what I'm looking for with like the Kraken tattoo. It's going to be partially covering up one, and then it's going to be adding a big section to it. And so I really kind of want it to look like there's like the old kind of specimen, black and white specimen artwork, and there actually is I forget what alcohol it is. It might be like Captain Morgan that makes the Kraken rum or whatever. They have a very similar Kraken on there. It's not exactly like that, but it's that kind of style. It's sort of like a black and white dot drawing, almost like it. It's way more complex than that. But that's, if anybody's ever seen the Kraken rum, that's very similar to what I'm talking about. So it'll be almost completely black and white, and then I'm just going to have very faint, like, kind of ocean colors, like, in it somewhere, like a lot, just like if you look really closely, you'll see like hints of like really, really dark, almost on black, but like really dark greens and blues. And then eventually that might wrap up around the roots of a tree, and then sort of go up further up my arm, and then become like a tree of sorts. Not turn into one, but sort of like being like almost a Kraken reaching up through the ground and grabbing onto the roots of a tree and trying to drag it down. And then that can sort of go into I feel like a tree would be a great way to sort of extend up and around, to sort of get into like more of a chest piece and upper arm piece. So I want something to start tying more together. I need more real estate, but I'm not trying to go super wild either. And I also don't want to only get tattoos in visible areas. I also want stuff on my legs. So I gotta start working on that. I don't really know what I want. I'm not as serious about my legs as I am about some other stuff. So I wouldn't mind just kind of getting some stuff to have either a certain type of artist or a certain specific artist, that's big. I wouldn't mind doing some stuff like that. Like a big part of the tattoo world, I feel like, that a lot of people never get involved in, is actually getting pieces from certain artists, just to have a piece by that artist. And I feel like that's sort of making a comeback in a lot of ways. Because I feel like back in the day with like artists like Sailor Jerry, a lot of people would seek out, specifically him, because they wanted, that piece from that that specific person. And so I kind of thought maybe some of the areas that weren't so kind of, I feel like the arms are like so much, they're in front of you every day, and they have a lot of meaning in your life in terms of, they're your main tool in life, and the way that we sort of, navigate the world, even though you could argue maybe that feet are the same way and legs are the same way. But at the same time, I feel like, it's the one thing that we look at a lot. And I feel like that means that when people are getting work that has a lot of meaning to them, they tend to put them in areas that they're going to see on a regular basis. And so, not necessarily everyone, obviously, but my mindset and a lot of other people's, I feel like that's it. And so I feel like a lot of the more important stuff, not always, but a lot of it I want, to save for like my arms and different really visible out there places. And then places, like that are only going to be visible like when I'm wearing shorts or whatever, to sort of just go wild with it, because it doesn't matter as much to me, because I like having tattoos and I like getting tattoos. And so just to kind of sit down and be like, give me something really interesting that's going to look great with my other work, I think that would be really cool to be able to walk in and get it from someone I liked. Night, Gary. Thanks for joining us. Glad you had a chance to stop by tonight. Yeah, make sure to update us when you get some. And if you ever get around to getting the Discord, hop on and let us know how it went. But yeah, have a great night. Appreciate you being here. So yeah, I need to actually... I forgot my drink again, which I think might be right around the corner, but is probably flat by now. I don't know if anybody else has actually noticed that. I've noticed that during the entire 2020 season with everything going on, and it might be because there's shortages in certain products, but I've noticed that it seems like all soda or pop or whatever you want to call it in your area of the world, it seems like it goes flatter quicker. And it seems across the board, whether it's Mountain Dew or, any Pepsi products or any Coke products. We have kind of a range of both from time to time, depending on the time. And night. Thanks for joining us. Yeah. Yeah, make sure to check out Ellen's other channel, or her Farm Girl channel. I'm not sure if she actually, I don't know if Ellen puts videos on her Ellen account anyway. But yeah, make sure to check that out. And yeah, I can recommend the farm content. I find a lot of it very interesting. And there's a lot of great farm channels out there, so make sure to give it a look. And as always, make sure to support those channels that do different content. If you're like me and you're sort of annoyed a little bit when you go to the trending page and see some of these videos that are kind of, the same old thing that everybody else is doing, or doesn't seem like it's really that creative, but it's getting way too many, and it's getting way too many hits, going out there and supporting some of those creators that do different content, like farm content, is a step in the right direction. Now, if this algorithm truly is learning from other people's viewing habits, then the only way to teach it that we're tired of what's on the homepage or tired of what's on the trending page is to start watching a lot of other content. I tried to really do that recently. I've even decided, to stop watching certain types of content because it's not that I don't like it, it's that I don't want to support it on YouTube, because I feel like YouTube supports supports it too much. Like it's not that I have any hate for any of these people. In fact, I find a lot of them entertaining, but I've pretty much stopped watching any late night television clips or anything whatsoever, whether it's whatever channel it is, or even like things like Saturday Night Live, any traditional media. I know a lot of shows have like small clips now, even shows that aren't even on the air anymore. I know that even The Office has its own YouTube channel now, and it releases old clips from The Office, and I stopped watching it all because it just ends up on the trending page, clogging up space that YouTubers who are making unique content could be filling themselves. And I feel like it's a disservice for me to watch these traditional media outlets when they show very little respect a lot of times to the creators that built this amazing platform that gave them another space to put their content, which in all reality helped them to revive a lot of their content that was dying. So, and so what respect and what thanks did they give to us? They make fun of us, and then they take all of our views when they take up the homepage. And I've honestly just been getting sick of it. And again, it's nothing against any one of these hosts. I think a lot of the hosts are talented people and definitely deserve an audience. But I feel like, again, this preferential treatment that they receive on YouTube, whether it's being able to break the terms of service and have content out there that's monetized that I could never have monetized. I don't think it's fair. I don't like it, and so I stopped watching it. And so I kind of, it's not a boycott. It's just I'm not going to contribute towards the algorithm hurting small creators such as myself and other people. And I'm tired of it, and not only for the damage that it's caused to my channel, but for the damage that it's caused to my friends' channels as well, even the ones that are doing well. There's people that are doing incredibly well that I think that 3-4 years ago, had they been the same size, they would have been getting 300,000, 400,000 views on every single episode. And, even from their perspective, even though they're doing really well and advancing their careers, they still, I feel like years ago, the algorithm would have treated them better too. And it's kind of weird. It's really weird to me. Oh, how did I get switched to top chat again? I thought I fixed that. I'm sorry. If I've missed anybody's messages, I apologize. I think I switched the wrong one over to live chat. That's why. So, my apologies if I've missed anybody. I'm not seeing anything right off the bat that I've missed. Yeah, that's awesome, Francisca. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I kind of made that core group of friends right off the bat. They weren't all, doing the exact same thing that I did, but a lot of them did similar content. Some of them did completely different content. I just found it interesting and ended up sparking up a relationship with those people. And a lot of them I still talk to this day, including the people that I've worked with in the past. I pretty much talk to all of them. So, but yeah, it's a great way to grow as well, because again, the algorithm is going to look for different things like thumbs up and how many people are commenting and how many people are watching. And if you have a core group of friends, and this isn't against this is not a way to, it's not like it's hacking, it's not against the terms of service. And in fact, YouTube encourages that, to make friends with other channels, to support their work, and especially if it's something that you really do truly enjoy, And so, I found other travel channels and things that, I enjoyed watching their videos, and I would leave comments when I had a comment to leave and give them a thumbs up, and it's a great way to grow, because if you have those. It's not necessarily guaranteed because obviously that would be something that is against the rules. You're not there to trade. That is the whole idea of sub for sub and trading likes is very against the YouTube rules and not a good idea for your channel. In fact, it really hurts your channel's growth and will end up destroying your channel. But supporting a core group of creators who ultimately will become your online YouTube friends is a great idea. But just find people who you authentically like, authentically enjoy, and who a lot of whom are making similar content to your own. And it's a great way to grow too, because you get to see other people doing similar things to what you do, and then you can say, okay, well, that's a great idea. That's a cool way to do this. This is an interesting subject matter. This is an interesting way to frame this subject, and it gives you all kinds of cool ideas. So, yeah. And on the other end, you're also supporting people who otherwise aren't being supported, other than their key core group of friends, because it's increasingly hard to grow as a smaller channel, as a lot of you may know. And so it's good to find ways to help people out. And yeah. Let me get my stats here real quick, and then I might grab a quick drink here because this is ridiculous. My mouth is getting super dry, and I had grabbed it, but I must have set it back down again to do something else. So I did want to look and see how we were doing on time here. Oh, we're just, okay. So we just passed the hour mark a few minutes ago. Oh, yeah, there was a lot of things that happened in the EU law-wise. I'm not sure exactly what the update is with everything, but yeah, they made certain types of content illegal to the point where YouTube was almost thinking of eliminating channels like mine altogether, even in the United States, which was really scary for a little while. And I think it only ended up affecting that specific area, and I don't really know what the status of the laws are in terms of the all the meme laws and all that were supposed to go into effect. And so, yeah, it was a ridiculous law or regulations, or I'm not sure exactly if it was a bunch of different laws and regulations that were going into effect under the guise of a package or whatever, but it was really going to hurt small creators. It was essentially taking stuff that, again, like your big traditional media outlets might be able to afford, like different images and things like that, and changing the way that things like fair use, and which is different in every country, but it changed. They wanted to change the way that like things like fair use work, so that it would make it harder for creators to do things like commentary on different types of other media or TV shows or things like that. And so it and it really at the time there was a lot of danger that was going to bleed over into other markets around the world, because the EU is such a big market that we were really looking at a potential of the US being switched over to this new way of doing things, simply because it was deemed not financially viable to do without the EU along for the trip, because it would mean that certain channels, not mine specifically just because of the type of content that I do, but like certain types of channels would be region blocked, so that even though they might be a United States channel, they would be suffering, because if they had a lot of viewers in the EU, those viewers may not even see those videos. They may not even be, you could search for them. You could go to the person's channel and those videos wouldn't even be there because they're region blocked. Just sort of like Netflix does it too. Prime does it from Amazon. And so it is sort of a normal thing for things to be region blocked, but I think it's a move in the wrong direction, and especially with the way the law was being described. And I think more and more, international laws is coming to effect, especially with businesses like mine. Even though technically I'm a business here in the Midwest United States, I'm also an international business. Even though I'm a small business, I have people that watch from every corner of the planet. And so to know that it's potential for me to be blocked out of a certain area because that country decided to take action against smaller YouTubers, it seems sort of unfair in a lot of ways because not only is that not a law in my area, but I might have a ton of viewers in that specific area. So yeah. And obviously as an American, I know that happens to people around the world all the time because of me too. The United States obviously strong arms other countries into doing things and making certain regulatory changes that ultimately affect their own citizens, despite the fact that, they don't live here. So I know that we're guilty of it too. I'm only complaining about that from a YouTube side. I want to be 100% clear there. I'm definitely not saying that the United States has no effect on international life and business. So, but I mean, thankfully, like I said, that content block doesn't really apply to me because I don't use any type of copyrighted content. I'm not doing any type of commentary on things. And so I, for the most part, remain unaffected, although it could end up affecting me again. Like I said, if YouTube decided that, okay, well, we've lost this entire market, it's going to be way easier and way more profitable if we just eliminate all the small channels and only have big traditional media outlets that are releasing clips, because we can guarantee that if we fill the platform with only content that's not going to be region blocked, then we're going to make more ad revenue internationally. And so, there's lots of people in boardrooms that don't care about, actually using YouTube, but care about the money that they make from YouTube, who are potentially, could potentially in the future make a decision to eliminate smaller creators in exchange for more ad revenue. And so these people who literally built this platform from the ground up could end up getting thrown in the trash, even channels as big as mine, in exchange for, only late night television clips, So, it's really scary, and another reason for people to get involved, whether that's going out and voting or raising awareness about these laws and how they really hurt small business owners, especially if you're trying to create a business in entertainment and travel. It really hurts. And in a lot of way, it's like it really does make it as sort of a monopoly, saying, you're not allowed to create any more. Only large, established, traditional media outlets can create because they have content that's more regulated and less likely to be non-advertiser friendly, even though that's a lie. and you can see it every day. I mean, anything that YouTube considers to be not family friendly, there's going to be a television show or 10 that have that exact content in it that also plays commercials on it. So that whole idea is false anyway, but at the same time, that's what they are trying to claim in order to make these changes, because I mean, I guess I don't know 100%, because again, it is completely, it's false, because, like I said, because television has all kinds of different types of content. So it's like, why worry about it? But at the same time, if you only offer family-friendly content, then, you do have more videos available where more ads can be placed, because there aren't those types of videos available that people might say, hey, I don't want my ads on these videos. And so it's at the end of the day, it's just a straight up I mean, I hate to say just monetary, because it's so much deeper than that. It's just people who don't care about the platform and what it's done for smaller creators, who just want to profit and fill their own pockets more, and only care about the bottom line, and only care about just squeezing that little bit more profit out of it. That's what's essentially happening. Because if we're just to say they're looking for advertiser safe, content, there's a reason that there's ratings on television that tell you what different types of content you're about to watch. And, is it TVMA? Is it TV14? Is it TVG? Is it, TV all, or whatever it may say in your region? The television has a system of ratings to let you know if there's going to be what you might consider offensive content in that particular television program, but guarantee that television program is still going to have ads running. So it really, the only reason to eliminate those programs altogether is to squeeze that extra bit of ad dollar out, But I think where it ends up backfiring then is that people stop watching. So that's one of the reasons that, they give sort of this pass that other creators like me don't get. If a big music star cusses or has, violent imagery or anything else that might be considered against the terms of service, they get to post that content anyway, and they get to run ads on it anyway, and they get to make the money anyway, and they still get promoted anyway, because those simply represent a bigger budget. And so they get the pass and ultimately end up taking over the trending page because they get the views. And yeah, it again ends up screwing over the creators that made it possible for that to happen. So, yeah. What else was I going to talk about here? All right. I'm going to take a quick break, because I got to get a drink. And I'm not going to do quite as long of a stream tonight, but we will go for a little bit longer after the break. So probably like somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. Not long. Short break. But I'll be right back here. Again, as always, comments are welcome about the be back soon screen and the on air soon screen. Let me know if it's irritating, or if the music's irritating, or if it needs new music. Maybe I might be doing that here over the next few days as well, while I'm sitting here editing some of these clips up. So let me know what you think. And yeah, again, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it on your favorite social media network. maybe while we're on break here, so we can reach a few more people while we're gone. But I'll see you back here in a few minutes. Shouldn't be long at all. Alright, welcome back, everybody. Thank you to everybody that stuck around for the break. Or through the break, I guess. Appreciate you all being here. I know for some of you out there it might be super late. Or some of you out there might be afternoon. Who knows? But whatever the case, I appreciate you being here. And I know too that it is a weeknight, so a lot of people out there have have jobs that they have to get to at some point. So I understand. And again, I have much appreciation for everybody that is sticking around and hanging out. But yeah, I've been thinking about what I was going to do. I thought about trying the Twitch thing again, since I do have the webcam on the other computer, but I'm not 100% sure on this. But I might try and see if it doesn't mess things up too much to actually start the process. I actually have to be fairly careful, so I'm not trying to give away any information. Yeah, it just turned 2 a.m. here. So it's not super late. I'll probably be up pretty late. I usually am anymore anyway, especially with not being able to travel at the same capacity that I was way back in 2019. Almost seems like a different life now. But yeah, so now my thing is just stay up as late as I possibly can and hopefully get something done. It doesn't always work out well, but then again, that's not always the point. It's been pretty hard to feel productive over the last year, especially with all the nonsense going around. Having to take extra precautions to stay safe. Not that I don't respect that. I obviously have always been a big proponent. But at the same time, it definitely has been hard on the channel, for sure. But I think this upcoming trip will be a lot of fun, though. And I'm really hoping that it'll do well. I was thinking about another channel the other day. I was watching Dan Bell's channel. I was watching the another Dirty Room series. And I thought there's a channel that's kind of found a happy medium, you know. And maybe it's just because he started out that way too. And I understand that I sort of started out in a very specific sort of way and not really intending to, and then it grew into that, and maybe he always kept his content more diverse than me, but I noticed that, you know, for somebody who's still, you know, who's been around for quite a while and still isn't a super huge creator, but also has a really big cult following and a real big, a lot of respect in the community. You know, someone similar to like Adam the Woo, you know, they haven't crossed that 1 million mark by any means, and there's other people in the community who have, but at the same time, if you're to look at some of the most respected members of the community, it is those people who are more of the cult following, you know. If there's somebody that, you know, if you were to go and ask these creators that were over 1 million, you know, that are in this sort of exploration or urban exploration or abandoned or adventure travel or whatever you want to call it, you know, a lot of them would point back to Adam the Woo, you know. A lot of them would point back to Dan Bell. And, you know, I was thinking about that series that he did, and how his channel really is, and not to complain, but just an example of a channel that can be very versatile, from doing dirty hotel rooms to doing abandoned things to doing different mysteries and urban legends to doing ghost content and doing UFO content and all kinds of different styles of filmmaking that he does across his couple channels, and he manages to get some pretty good views across everything. Not to say that for his size maybe he does have certain issues with certain types of content, but I think it's interesting that he was able to sort of branch out into these different areas and still manage to get views. And I know some of that comes from, again, he's been around for a long time and developed a huge following during times that the algorithm maybe didn't exist and didn't affect his channel as much at the time. But at the same time, it was interesting to look at. And I was thinking, how awesome it would be if YouTube could get back to a place where, I do have that freedom again and I can try new things. Which direction am I headed? You mean travel-wise or like content-wise? My content on 539 was always intended to be travel. So it wouldn't change in lines of that. But just like how, like I was saying earlier, how, and again, I won't get into a super huge algorithm conversation, but just how it essentially, if I do it's like right now on my channel, my primary views comes from these like little cemetery or graveyard explorations. And if I try to do a more natural area or an abandoned area, it'll just pretty much tank on the channel because the algorithm just won't promote it. So direction-wise, travel-wise, probably close but long, so probably Michigan, like I was saying. My thought to do a longer trip that was still not so far from home was like I was saying earlier, to do a loop around Lake Michigan, to sort of start from the very edge of Michigan, right about at the area where it meets up with Illinois and Chicago, and to start from there and slowly drive all the way up into Michigan and then around the lake and into obviously the Upper Peninsula via the Mackinac Bridge, and then to take that around. And then there are a few ghost towns and all kinds of crazy stuff to do that I've been looking at and doing research for a couple of years now. In the Upper Peninsula area around the Lake Michigan coast, and then north up towards the northernmost point of the Upper Peninsula into the Lake Superior area. And so I have a really interesting sort of plan to explore a bunch of different really cool things and different types of locations. And then, like I was saying, my first thought is to release a format where it's road trip centric. It's wake up, hit the road, multiple locations, longer videos, more video from the road, more than, like I was saying, more than one location, more than one type of location, just sort of heading down the road, making the loop, and then whatever I hit that day will essentially be the episode. It might be like a 30 to 40 minute long episode having 3 to 4 locations and multiple stops along the way. It would include anything and everything. If things go wrong, if I can't find things, if I get lost, if we have a breakdown, anything and everything that is involved in the trip and what it takes, to do it. A complete road trip series, maybe even some interviews and everything. The problem with trying that is that, again, what gets views on 539 right now, because of the algorithm taking over, is cemetery videos. And like I said, I don't mind doing them because I like going out in the country and finding these crazy little places out in the middle of nowhere that are often hidden, and I stumble upon them all the time, and they're very historic and often have, like I said, crazy like Civil War and Revolutionary War veterans, and it's really interesting to see and connect the dots with American history. But at the same time, I like to do I love travel in general, and I really like the idea of doing just a straight up road trip series, which might have cemeteries in them. It might have hiking. It might have exploring urban areas. It might have any number of things. I could do examples all day, but I think it would make all the viewers happy. The problem is what makes the viewers happy and what makes the algorithm happy is often two different things, and so those have to coincide. And if it doesn't coincide, it means I have to start a brand new channel for that content. And so that's the idea. We're going to try it. Just like on this channel, trying clips on this channel, we're going to try it for a month. We're going to see if it works. If a month from now I'm getting 120 views on a video, it's done, And the same thing with the live stream. I've been trying this channel for a long time, off and on, obviously. The problem with off and on is that sometimes the algorithm can sort of kill off a channel by doing that. And so, the same thing with that. Obviously I always do live streams, but if the channel is just going to continue to kill everything that I do, then we'll find out a better way of doing it, or a new channel to do it on, I guess, and just keep doing them. But again, for the sake of the channel and for the sake of the business, for the sake of just in general of, if more people want to watch it, why shouldn't they? I'm not going to allow the algorithm to hide it from new potential people. So, I just feel like I owe myself that chance. That if the channel could get big, then why not? It is decently big, but if both channels, it's a good example for both channels, but if it could be doing significantly better because for whatever reason YouTube has just decided that they're done, then why not start something new that's going to do better? Because again, if people are going to like it and they want to watch it, then I might as well make it searchable. And if it's not searchable, then what am I doing with my time? Not to say that the views that I don't get aren't important. The audience that I've built on these channels is incredibly important to me, and it's the reason that I still get views to this day, despite the problems that we have with the algorithm. So, it's sort of this, I don't know, damned if I do, damned if I don't sort of situation, because it's like, I never want to abandon the audience, but at the same time, I've got to make it work somehow, and that's what we're using this since like I said, I'm getting my second vaccine here, and then I'll have 2 weeks after that, and then I'm pretty much free to do what I want to a certain degree, and so we're going to use that time after that to just breathe some life into this whole thing. And we're going to find out what that takes, and we're going to take that exact route. And it's just really this, I'm trying to get on here more often. And in the past, the more often I get on, the more the whatever algorithm does anything, or whatever search engine, or whatever they're, not search engine, but whatever they're doing to allow people to search, or notifying people who have already subscribed seems to get better the more and more that I stream, the more often I stream, which makes a lot of sense, obviously. But again, you never know. And so we're going to try this in the clips for the next month and see how that works. I'm also going to still do the Twitch thing, which I say that, and I was meaning to start copying all that over. I don't think I'm going to log on to Twitch tonight, but I am going to try and get as much set up as possible. That way, the next time that we do a live stream, I think I am going to do a dual stream and go ahead and stream on Twitch as well from my other computer here that I'm monitoring the live stream on right now. I'm getting your chat and all my live statistics from YouTube through my second computer. And I'm actually running the live stream and the computer, or not the computer, the camera system and my graphics and all that through my brand new computer. Not brand new, but recently purchased computer. So all the heavy lifting is being done by the new system. And then all the light work I pushed over to the old system so it can continue to function and help me out. And so I don't have everything running on one single system, making it way easier on each system. Okay, let's see. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to... Oh, this is going to be... There we go. So, let's start doing that now. I hope that I'm not... Hope I'm not being too boring, but I'm not really sure exactly what to do right now, honestly. If anybody has any questions, again, any 539 episode questions, let me know. But yeah, so that was my little piece on not Dan Bell in general. I enjoy his series, and I'm always entertained by the Dead Mall series and the Another Dirty Room series. So nothing but praises for him. But I just found it interesting that certain channels are so flexible. And again, it may not really be flexible. It just may, as a slightly smaller channel, be or have the appearance of flexibility. And if I really looked into it, I might find that his views actually fluctuate pretty heavily too. So, and I know I have heard him say in the past that, you know, he's done certain things because, you know, or he's pursued certain things because they do get views. And so it is a reality for everyone. So maybe I'm slightly exaggerating in his ability to overcome things. All right, now we got that working, and that transferred. So what I'm doing right now is just transferring the program I use on this system, which I said is doing the heavy lifting, essentially. And I transferred it to my other computer so that I could have it utilize the webcam on my other computer to transmit to Twitch. So essentially we can do 2 live streams at once. No worries, Francisca. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Hope to see you in the new one. So we should be doing another one here in a few days, because it's experimentation time. So we're just going to see how many videos is too many videos. How many videos can we do? And after I get offline tonight, I'm going to be doing a bunch of these clips and getting that ready. And from there, we'll see what people think. And I figure at the very least, if I can get the channel to I need just a few more hours of playback. And I don't understand that. Anyway, I only need a few more hours of playback, and I actually am qualified for the monetization system, which, like I said, as far as I understand the way the algorithm works, is that your channel isn't really, like I was saying last time, in the way that you can sort of graph out a channel's lifespan and it all. Excuse me. And no matter how long the lifespan of the channel is, meaning that it goes from small views and a small amount of subscribers at the beginning to its max potential somewhere in the middle, and then begins to slowly get less and less. Okay, no, never mind. We're good. Slowly starts to get less and less, like in your monthly, like at the maximum I was getting, say, 5 million subscribers every single month. That's a ridiculous number, but, and you could say from then on out, I got less and less and less and less and less. And so you can sort of graph out any channel, and they sort of, it's sort of like a movie. It has a beginning, a climax, and then an end. And so the way the algorithm works now, the idea that I have is that beginning, middle, and end is not the beginning, middle, and end of the channel. It's from the moment of monetization, because those two systems, even though they kind of claim that they're not, they're linked for the purposes of preventing offensive content from running ads on it. Or from running ads on offensive content, excuse me. That was grammatically terrible. I should really start muting when I do that. The what? Oh. Huh. Sorry. Yeah, just configuring everything. I really don't think that this is going to work. Really? Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this right now. Well, I could do this right now. But if I do all this right now, I might as well log in and stream on Twitch. That's disappointing. We'll do it next time. All right. It's also kind of crazy that, like, my average watch time actually is pretty good. I feel like, I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. I just spilled water all over myself. Did I get any new ones? I think I got a few new cactus. And I got a ficus too. I got this ficus because it was on clearance. It was like a $20 plant, and it was on sale for like $7. Well, exactly $7. And so I was like, yeah, why not? And I got a cactus as a gift the other day, actually. Well, technically 3, I guess. A little in a cool little pot. That was from my mother. So, and these are, I believe, Golden Barrel or Golden Bell. One of the two. It's kind of hard to tell the difference sometimes. I think barrel are shorter and stubbier. Actually, we'll just go ahead and put that there because that's going to be way too hard to put that back right now. So, but yeah, they're pretty cool. It'll be interesting here in a few years because the majority of the cacti or cactuses, whatever you want to say, that I have are flowering. A lot of them are just not old enough to flower yet. Several of them are. I have 2 that currently flower, and 1 I believe that's about to flower. My bunny ear should flower at some point. Some of them are getting pretty big. My one section of it has like quadrupled in size since I've gotten it. The other section has gotten about 3 times the size, and then I have one little kind of runt section that has just remained small, but it seems to be pretty healthy. I had separated them all out. They had been living in pretty close quarters, which is not bad for cactus, but in the beginning I didn't really know much about it, so I kind of figured that they were way too close, and they probably were to a certain degree, but they probably didn't need to be separated completely, and so I kind of had separated them all into their own containers. Actually, there was 2 of them in one, and then 1 in the big blue container that's directly behind me there. And the one did great alone, and the other 2 did so-so. And so I just got to the point where it was taking up too much room anyway, and they seemed to like it better when they were together, so I put them back together, and ever since then they seem to be a lot healthier. So we're just going to keep them that way for a while and see how that works. And then I don't think I've gotten anything else that I haven't shown yet. Trying to think. I'm always getting stuff though, especially recently. I'm waiting for the philodendrons to come in because I want one of the burgundy colored philodendrons to put back here. I'm trying to work on my reds now. I've got various shades of green, and so I really want to work on the reds, and I've got my begonia, and then I got the ficus, and I really wanted to get a red pothos or philodendron to go with it. Hey Lynn, thank you so much, I appreciate that. Yeah, they're finally lit up tonight, so I'm happy that they're actually looking good on screen. So, and of course the money trees are getting pretty big. I've been having slight issues with my bigger money tree. For whatever reason, it's not liking the new pot that it's in. I think it's not getting proper watering with it. I hate to pull it out and repot it again, but I feel like it's going to end up killing it if I don't, so I'd rather risk losing a few more leaves and having to wait for it to recover than to lose it altogether, because I really like it. It's a really thick trunk, so my other one is a really thin one, but it's really tall. So, but it has huge leaves. Like, the leaves are like way bigger than my hand. And then my Monstera is completely at the end of the grow, or at the end of its pole, and it's beginning to hang down again. So I'm going to have to get a new grow pole, one that it can actually, hopefully with like the, something that it can actually throw its aerial roots into. A fighting fish. I had betas at one point. I used to like fish a lot, and I had betas, but yeah, I did think about it, especially because they a lot of times can live well with different plants. And I wanted to grow duckweed, which is like the little tiny, it looks just like leaves that float on the surface of the water. And a lot of times they like cover like real swampy areas. And I really want to grow that. And I thought it'd be kind of interesting to do like a beta. And of course, I've always thought about koi too, but I don't think I have enough room. I think if the live streams really take off and turn into something, and I actually get people that want to come on and do like interviews and start building an audience, then I'll probably eventually move this into a bigger studio and expand it, and then get something with a lot of windows and actually deck the studio out with lots of plants and stuff like that too. And then I'll have this as sort of like my home collection that I'll probably still do streams from here, but like I feel like if I'm going to have more stuff, I want to be able to kind of showcase it more. Everything's just kind of in the background here, and I figure like a small fish in the background really wouldn't be as good as if I had a bigger studio where I could have like a a beta fish in the center of the conference table that is the broadcast spot to do interviews or something like that, or have like a cool little koi setup or like fish tank or something. I'm not a big fish tank person, so I don't think I'd ever have any like elaborate fish tank or something like that. But I definitely might toy around with the idea of adding it in as sort of like a piece of the plant setup for sure. But probably never dedicated. Unless it was like an outdoor thing. I would love to have like an outdoor koi pond, but not like a huge. I'm not like that into it where I would get like into the collection of like the fish worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars. But like, I think to have even something simple, just to have bigger fish like that, I think would be kind of interesting. And to maybe do like a year-round setup where it had like a heater and whatnot, so you could still have like fish in the middle of winter outdoors that were swimming around, and you can actually visit and actually see what's going on. So it's a thought. It might happen in the future, but again, I can't really plan out too much ahead when YouTube doesn't even want to promote any of my stuff. So no fish tanks at 7 viewers. Although I can't complain. If I actually went live on 539, I'd probably have a lot more viewers, arguably. But it's always a fear of mine because I feel like if I go live on 539, it's going to destroy the channel. So, because the first time, right after the YouTube had created the live studio, and I did go live a few times. Right after that, the algorithm once again tanked my views. Just the next few episodes, it was just like I kept saying, "What is going on here?" And basically, what YouTube told me was like, "Well, if you are doing live streams," and at this time it was different. I don't think it's like this anymore, but it was like if you're doing live streams and they're really long and your view time, your average view time is low, then that could negatively affect the next episodes that are coming out. And I was like, well, that's not really fair because that's not the point of the live streams. The point of the live streams isn't to make somebody watch 100% of it, even though obviously that's kind of the goal in the background. But like some of these live streams are really long, and sometimes people just watch for their favorite part. And not necessarily describing my own as much as just live streams in general. Some live streams are designed different ways, especially like with like gaming. you might pop in, you might watch for a while, you might leave. The Twitch style streaming. It's not really designed. Some of the people, they're gonna hop on and they're gonna watch the entire time, but some people are just gonna pop in and pop out. And it's sort of like radio. That format exists and it works well. And I was sort of doing that type of style where it was like this long form travel. I was traveling. The one time I was traveling around the ghost town, and and it was just like I would hop in the car and drive to a different area, and then I could, show people a lot of different parts of the ghost town in a longer format. But then it just tanked my channel once again. Meaning that it cut my views by thousands. Like I was saying the one time, for over like 2.5 years, I had not had a single video under 1,000 views, which isn't that significant, but like at the same time, it had been a long time. But as soon as I posted, like many other channels do, they had a bonus episode. I had a bonus episode that came out on the same day as another episode that I did. And to my knowledge, I had seen other channels do it plenty of times and never had any issues. And as soon as I did it on my channel, tanked the channel. Immediately tanked both videos. One video did mediocre. One video got barely 600 views. And couldn't figure out what's going on. Every other channel had done it, but as soon as I took both those videos down and waited a while and started building, and I had to build pretty much from not scratch again, but like set me back pretty much a whole year, almost each time, because even still I'm recovering from all of it now. So it's frustrating in knowing that I could probably just pop on live on 539 and have, a couple hundred people watch instead of, but again, I like this channel and I'm hoping to grow it. So, it's like I'm trying to spend that time and do these streams so that YouTube does take it seriously. Because again, I feel like we're doing different types of streams, travel streams, hangout streams, even thinking of doing other types of streams, and maybe even doing music on streams in the future. Not to keep plugging that and never doing it, but it is still a possibility. But so I want, before this whole thing kicks in with doing the monetization and like I said, that being tied to the algorithm, I really want to prove that this is a popular type of format and to create something different and interesting. I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling now, but like I don't know. It just all worries me a little bit because of the way things are now. It's very worrying, especially when not only I'm having problems, but people who are even famous in the traditional sense are. And so, yeah, I don't know. All right. What time are we at? Okay, we did pass the 2-hour mark. The only bad thing is that once the channel is monetized, like, I guess there's a limit. Not a time limit, like, not a time limit that I can't go past, but, like, it becomes harder and harder to monetize past 2 hours, I believe. So, it's unfortunate, but a lot of channels stop at the 1 and 2 hour marks, and I really like doing the long format, which is really sad to me because I really wish I could create almost like a variety show where I could actually stream for like, on the days like to do travel every other week and like do like a variety show or do like a, an 8 hour a day long show, almost like a radio show. I don't know. I might have to look into it, but obviously it's going to have to happen on some other platform or something, unless again the algorithm changes around here in the next few days. Like I said, whatever algorithm is functioning, there does seem to be some rudimentary algorithm that is once you've streamed 2, 3, 4 times, starts to funnel in a few more people or notify a few more people. I think last time we got a little bit of a bump because I posted about it on social media beforehand, so we had a few people that knew about it that didn't get notified, so that kind of helps. So I'll probably do that again next time. But obviously, if you're having problems with notifications, you can always check me out on Instagram. I don't do Twitter, and I do Facebook in the form of I copy all of my Twitter posts over, or not Twitter, all my Instagram posts over to Facebook, but I don't actually log on to Facebook much anymore. So yeah. So if you message me on Facebook and I never get back with you, that's probably why. Because for whatever reason, it's like where everybody messages me, I'll like log in and I'll have like 100 unread messages, and like all my other accounts are just like crickets. Like no one's emailing me, no one's DMing me on Instagram barely, like every once in a while, and like then I'll log into Facebook one time and it'll be like, you have 100 missed messages. And it's like everyone is trying to, like, I have no idea why though. Because for so many messages, like I almost have no activity on that account, but that's just because Facebook has become such a joke. But like the Facebook groups are just terrible. They're just absolutely horrible. I mean, with the express exception of like random few hobby pages that really help people out. I feel like those are really good. Other than that, it's either just trash or nothing but memes. Like that was one reason that I completely just quit altogether, is because I used to post to like the groups, like if I was doing like an abandoned series or whatever like that, I would post to like an abandoned or a few different abandoned groups, and like I started noticing when I was going to these groups that the most popular content on these groups, which were supposedly about abandoned places, were these photos, these kind of memes that were just photos of a supposedly abandoned house, which either was 100% fake or there was no way you could confirm that it was abandoned, and there just would simply be a sentence written over the top of the photo, which would be, "Who would stay here for 1 month without a phone for $1 million, or some other rendition of that sentence and or photo. And it would just be 1,000 replies of, "I'd do it. Of course I'd do it. No, I'd never do that. That place looks scary." And it was just, that was the only content that was making it. There would be 1,000 likes, tons of comments, and it was just a place that, the person had no idea, the person even that posted it didn't even make the photo. They just Googled it, found it on Google, posted it on there, and then people responded to it, which isn't necessarily bad. But when I can post a video about the 1,000 miles that I traveled, to film at a location that had never been filmed at before, and I post an entire video with a 30-minute long exploration, and it gets 10 likes. It's like, there's something wrong with that group if that's the way it works. And so I just got so tired of it, because that was every group. And then, of course, you went on the paranormal groups, and it was even worse. It was either somebody posted a photo of absolutely nothing, and they said, just stare at it long enough, you'll see it. And it was just like, there's nothing there. There's no paranormal anything going on in this. But if I were to post, like, say, my actual experience at a haunted mine that had unexplainable events and weird noises and all kinds of things that actually happened, 15 likes. The fake ghost photo from a 1970s movie that says, "What would you do if you saw this at the bottom of your stairway?" 900 likes, 350 comments, and it's not even somebody sharing an experience or even a photo that they made. They, again, Googled ghost photos. They found this photo of a ghost that already had a text over the top that said, "What would you do if?" And then they just posted that "What would you do if" photo on Facebook because they were bored that day. And that's the only thing that works. Meanwhile, the YouTubers that are desperately trying to promote their content because it's not getting promoted on YouTube because YouTube algorithm has already forgotten about us all long ago, and everybody's trying to promote their content on other platforms like Facebook. Now Facebook is only promoting these silly little memes, essentially, that are meaningless, really, other than for a quick laugh, But, overall, since that's what's getting views, that's what's getting likes, that's what's getting promoted, it's drowning out all these people who are trying to promote their work. And so it really does end up hurting people. All because, again, the thing is, too, is that, it only has to happen a short few amount of times before it really trains the various algorithms from even the other sites into this very dangerous pathway of meaningless, mindless content. Not that memes don't have their place. They certainly do. But that type of content is why, channels like mine end up having these huge issues, It's sort of like on YouTube, like, the content that makes it to the trending page, the problem content, like we've discussed before, is the reason that channels like mine often suffer, because YouTube goes, "Oh yeah, that's what's popular." No, what you do isn't popular. And so I get a slap on the wrist for working super hard, and these people can essentially get famous doing almost nothing. Not that every one of them that's famous is doing almost nothing. A lot of them are hard workers, but there is content that people do that ends up making them millions and millions of dollars and incredibly famous, that is just simply way simpler and way less work than what a lot of other YouTubers are doing. So it's unfair. And then you get over to other platforms and you see that same sad turn in direction, like Facebook, that we went so quickly from here's another place to share your stuff, your artwork, your creations, to, oh no, we don't want your work here anymore. And a lot of people it's really funny because I applied to a couple of groups and I didn't get accepted because their only stipulation were no self-promotion. And it's like, well, why? It's like, first of all, you shouldn't really, to be like perfectly honest, you shouldn't be going onto a Facebook group and sharing other people's, depending on how you do it. There's a proper way, obviously, and a not proper way. Like, like I always say, like if you share a link to my video on a Facebook group, that's awesome. But like if you like download my video to your computer, say, and then upload that video to Facebook on your account and be like, oh, look at this amazing video that I found. Well, that actually hurts me, because then those people watch your video that you uploaded, and then, not that anybody here has done that, I'm just saying for example, so that would hurt me, because even though that person was a fan, I didn't get any views, I didn't get any links, I didn't get, no one knows who I am still. But often that's what Facebook is. It's a bunch of people sharing content and never telling who took the photos, how to follow that person, and so these photographers who often took these photos, and may not have put the text on top of them, but took the photos, or maybe even the people who made the movies from the 70s that they use these ghost images from or whatever, it's like, can I go watch that movie now because I've seen that post? Well, no, because they don't know what movie it is. They're just posting it because they think it's funny, and there's nothing inherently wrong with that. But at the end of the day, there are negative consequences for, artists like me when, I can see I've seen 1,000 photos on Facebook of abandoned buildings that I would never know, and I will never know who took the photo, because neither does the person even care who took the photo. A lot of them just want the attention themselves. Oh, how cool was I because I shared this photo? And it's like, oh, whose photo is that? Oh, I have no idea. Where was the photo taken? Oh, I don't know. And it's like, well, why don't you care? It's like you join this group because you claim you care about this. And then when you get to that point, it's, you've been ejected from the group, you've been blocked from the group, you're done. And and that's happened to me so many times. It's just like, even the groups that have the rules against it, and I've even been the one to say, it's like there's a lot of people trying to post stuff about actually filming abandoned or historic places, and what you're posting here is against the rules and just filling up the page. And it's like the next thing you know, I'm blocked and ejected from the group for trying to protect the content. So it's just incredibly frustrating environment to create right now in the social media scape. I think some of the newer formats are starting to break through, starting to help. Even I know some people aren't a big fan of like the TikToks and things like that, but like they really are a decent place where creators can still get views for doing the things that they like to do. So I gotta hand it to him for that. I wasn't really a big fan of Musical.ly back in the day and all that. I really didn't get that type of creating, and still in a lot of ways don't. I guess it's sort of the karaoke mindset, which is fine too. But I think the platform itself is pretty promising in terms of what it offers and how it looks to promote people for making good content, or at least interesting content, not always good content, but interesting content, instead of necessarily already being famous. So, and I think a lot of times with Facebook and with YouTube nowadays, it's like either you've made it already or they just don't care anymore. And so it's like, as kind of close as 539 was to kind of making it in many different ways, from all the views that we've gotten and the many subscribers. We just didn't make it there quick enough. And not to say that it won't change, but just currently that's just the way it is. If you don't have 100,000 viewers or 100,000 subscribers at least, and 10,000 views a video, then you're just currently not really, you're going to have a real hard time making it there, unless you're falling into this very narrow market of videos that YouTube promotes almost no matter what. Not all the time, because even those videos, I find channels that have tried hard for years and they haven't made any progress. But like at the same time, you see, it's like I said, like I'm not talking about all types of challenge videos when I say this, but like, trying to think of like a good example, because the ice bucket was for charity, so that doesn't count. But there's certain challenge videos. I'm not talking about eating challenge videos. I think those are pretty interesting. But just like, I don't know. If you look on the trending page, I'm sure you've seen 1,000 of them. But like they like one of the recent ones that was really huge, that 1,000 channels did it, and a bunch of people got millions of views for doing it. It was like they letting the person behind you order it at McDonald's. And like, there was no real creativity to it. Somebody might have been like, oh, well, I did Burger King. But it's like, is that creative or is that just a different restaurant? And a bunch of people did it, and almost every big creator did it. And it's just like, that's the type of content that just makes me want to vomit. It's just like, really? Oh, you did that one. Like, great. I saw that 3-4 weeks ago on 15 different channels, like, and they all made it to the trending page and they all got 1 million views. And it's like really, it's like by that time I would just be bored. I never watched any of them. I thought it's not that it's not somewhat creative an idea, it's just overdone. It's like one person does it and then 1,000 other channels do it, but then those 1,000 other channels are already big and they milk the views and get millions and millions of views and make millions and millions of dollars. And really at the end of the day, what they're doing is drowning out smaller creators who are being more creative. When 1,000 channels with over 1 million subscribers all do the person behind me orders challenge and they all get millions of views, well, the one person that was doing something unique, they got 500 views and had no chance of getting to the trending page. Meanwhile, if you just copy, it's like what kind of environment are we creating here? And it shows. There's 1,000 of those channels. There's 1,000 top 10 channels. There's 1,000 clip channels that just borrow content from other people that already created content. Everything's the same over on that end. But that's what gets views. So, but not that this I consider incredibly interesting. This is just a live stream to hang out and answer questions and do that. I don't feel like at this point, without the podcast side of it, that I have kind of any place in that argument, especially, just having an interesting looking set and having no content. But again, I'm definitely trying to build it, but it's taking time. But all right, this is clearly done for the night, though. Yeah, so we'll do this again in another few days. Again, I'm going to keep the Discord open. It doesn't seem like anybody's really liking the idea of it, so maybe we'll eventually move that all over onto Twitch and stop trying over here on the whole live side of things or whatever it may be. Like I said, we're going to keep trying to figure out the sweet spot where I can make the channels grow again and not be stagnant like they have been over the past at least 6 months or so. And both channels are really experiencing, like I said, this one came to pretty much a halt, and then the other one is greatly reduced but still growing a decent amount. So, but again, you can kind of see when the algorithm, even in the live stream, decides that it's just done with it. So, but again, I'm going to give this a little bit longer in terms of doing the interviews and stories over here until we switch it over to Twitch permanently and stop trying over here. But so if anybody does want to share any of the stories on the YouTube streams, travel stories, tattoo stories, body modification stories, piercing stories, whatever it may be, if you want to share it, hop over on the Discord. There's never going to be a phone number, probably. There might be in the future. That's going to be down the road. So if you're comfortable with Discord and you want to hop on there and tell a quick story on the live stream, then again, let me know. You don't have to let me know a huge amount of time ahead. You can let me know the night of. I'm not saying like you had to tell me tonight, for it to happen 2-3 weeks from now or a few days from now. If you hop over on Discord and just sort of type in the chat, a general idea, hey, I have a tattoo story, about a tattoo I got a few years ago, blah, blah, blah. If you could just give me a little bare minimum of detail, just to kind of let me know. And then, and again, that's text, just like the chat here in YouTube. And then I can pull you into the on-air voice part of the room myself. So it's not like you have to do any work. You don't have to know the ins and out of Discord in order for this to work. So it's something I can just pull you on in, and then the chat can hear you through your microphone on your computer, and so there's no real work to get done. So if it is something you're interested in, I would advise to, if you've never heard of Twitch and never tried it out, or not Twitch, Discord, give it a shot. It's a cool little service, and a lot of different streamers are using it, and I think it's an interesting way to, again, have the option, just like sort of in the old radio shows, to kind of call in and get in on the action. And again, if the sort of the alt culture podcast is to work, I think it'll be a integral part to that series. And so I'm hoping that people will get on board with that, and I want to share a few things here and there. But again, I'll keep that open. The link, I believe, will work long after the stream ends, so if you want to click on it, the server's always up, but you can always go on there and chat, although not a whole lot of people use it. There are a few people that pop in and out from time to time, but it hasn't gotten a whole lot of use quite yet. But I'm hoping that we can build it here in the future and make it into something, because again, I feel like it'd be, like I said, I just feel like that's such a fun format that I feel like the radio format doesn't get enough credit. And I feel like that's where podcasts are kind of coming in. But again, I think, with the online thing, the idea of like the call-in show is somewhat sort of, I wouldn't say new, but it's not done as much anymore. And I feel like Discord is a great way to revive that. And so if you haven't checked it out, ever check it out. You don't have to get it. You don't have to try it. You can look at it and decide you don't want to have anything to do with it. But yeah, I would at least take a look. You can just check it out, discord.com, and yeah. But again, a lot of different streamers use it for various reasons, and yeah, I feel it's like really interesting thing to utilize. So we'll keep trying for it. And again, if we don't get so many call-in guests, we'll obviously have the scheduled guests from time to time too. So, but again, at this point, I'm just kind of deciding on whether or not that'll first happen on Twitch or first happen here. We're just kind of seeing what the YouTube people are going to bless us with here, because the second night back on the second channel, I am not too impressed with the YouTube metrics. Not that is any of your fault. That's all fine. I'm talking about, obviously YouTube is not barely notified anyone tonight, as we can see. But it is kind of late, so that's a little bit understandable. We'll try and hop on a little bit earlier next time. Although I am trying to train it so that we can do the late night streams, because I like doing the late night streams, and I am a late night person in general. So, yeah, I kind of figure like when I'm looking at places like Twitch too, and even on YouTube Live, the live section when I'm browsing it, I feel like there's plenty of streamers that do late night streams. So YouTube shouldn't be messing with my numbers as much. So it's a little bit frustrating, but it might just be because the content this time is a little bit boring. I'm just sort of talking this late. Last time I was at least doing some stuff with plants and other interesting things, so we'll try and amp up the content a little bit more next time, and that might help a little bit too. So I've got to try as much as I can on my end too, but I agree. I prefer the late night stuff too, but it is harder because, I mean, as you can see. And again, like I've always said, I don't want to pressure anybody out there. So if there's something that you're not comfortable with, I don't want you to do anything for my sake, just to help me out. But in example only, as you can see, a lot of people aren't really either comfortable or interested in the whole Discord thing, and so it does make it slightly hard to improve the content. I'm gonna have to bring on some guests and do that. But my other thought, as like I was saying a little bit earlier, was if I do a few streams ahead of time, hopefully that'll sort of charge the algorithm up a little bit and give me a little bit of push when I actually go to have a guest stream, or not a guest stream, but have a guest on stream, so that it hopefully does not embarrassingly kill the stream in the middle of interviewing a guest. Because I think the worst possible thing would be for the stream to crash down to 5 viewers in the middle of actually having a interesting guest with a lot to say about a really cool topic. And I have a few lined up that are going to be really interesting, and I feel like we'll have a lot to talk about, and I'm hoping to get a lot of questions, especially when we start talking about these alternative culture subjects, and talk about people who have really lived it. I'm really hoping that we'll get the assistance and the backup of the algorithm, so that we have a good amount of people actually watching and interacting and being able to ask questions of their own, because I feel like that's one of the great things about doing the live streams, and especially to do the live podcast, is that to have a guest on, I can pre-record and ask as many questions as I can think of, but I might not think of a really great question that one of you might think of, and if I just see that in the comments afterwards, I can't really do anything about that other than schedule a whole new interview with somebody. So the idea is that if I miss something and you guys have a great question to ask, you could sort of cut in, and if I see your question, I can forward that to the person that I'm interviewing, and then I won't miss that, and you won't miss that answer. And so I think it's a really great way to do the podcast personally, and I think that a lot of you do too, because whenever YouTube actually does promote the live streams, it seems like everybody likes it, which is, it's so weird to me, because the quality just cut on my mic. I wonder if that's weird. I might be experiencing some audio issues. My mic sounds terrible tonight. Anyway, now I'm kind of losing. So when I can tell when the algorithm's actually, or like I said, whatever algorithm it is, I can tell when it's treating me fairly at a lot of times, because it's like we'll have even on this smaller second channel that rarely does live streams. It's like in the past, even when I've done 2 or 3 in a row, it's like I'll at least have, a concurrent like 25 to 35 viewers. And so it's kind of weird that it went backwards this time. I had decent viewers on my first time back, and then the system crashed me this time. But it might be the time of week too. I can't remember what day we did it on either. So we'll just keep forging ahead here and see how it works. I think within a week we should have a permanent answer and hopefully a little bit better content coming on here. So we'll be doing, I'm going to try and maybe do do a travel stream next too. Because I've been wanting to get out on the road and maybe do a longer, I'm not really sure exactly what, but I got a few things I'm trying to figure out. But if we can get far enough away from the cities and actually do something interesting, I think that would be cool if we can get the signal. But you never know. But I'm thinking it's gonna, in the next week or two, it's gonna be a good time to do that, and maybe even a few other types of streams. Maybe we'll do another cooking stream. I haven't done a cooking stream in a while, and I might have some extra time to do that coming up here soon too. So maybe we'll do something like that again. So I don't know. It's confusing. I almost want to do anything to get the views, but I don't know. Yeah, I wish I had better lights too. Or maybe it's just a better camera I need. I need a better nighttime camera so I can do more interesting like travel stuff at night too, because I like to do the travel stuff at night. But I probably won't be driving at night too much for the next few weeks though. After my deer run in, I don't know if anybody saw my post on Twitter. Not Twitter, on Instagram, sorry, which is gone now. So, I might put it back up here. But I have a bunch of Instagram posts going out tomorrow, a bunch of random photos from the recent travel that I did. But I was on my way home the other night, and a deer came out in front of me, and I missed it. And I looked over, and there was another deer coming, and I swerved, and I missed it. But it didn't miss me. It kept going and slammed. Now the deer lived, thankfully, and it wasn't seriously injured. But I almost was. It would have went under my car, but luckily I swerved, and it would have been fine had the deer stopped. But the deer, for whatever reason, thought it would keep going, and it obviously, when there's a car in front of you, you're not going to get very far, and so it just pretty much headbutted my front bumper and then bounced off and flipped around and tapped my passenger side door. So did almost no damage to the car, only cosmetic damage, and completely saved the deer's life. But yeah, a little bit scary though. Especially, I think it was like somewhere around 9 or 10 and pitch black, and wherever it was, it was like you couldn't see anything until like the very last moment. Like usually I can see him coming, like a lot of times like I can see him coming way off in the field. In this area, I don't know if there was like it was really dark, so I couldn't tell the exact geography of the behind it way off. There were some woods in the distance, and then there were some houses here and there, but like the way it looked, it was like basically there must have been there was a kind of a ditch line that was running along, and so they kind of just like all of a sudden popped up where you usually can see them before, and yeah, and so that kind of sucked. But yeah. Anyway, I probably should have told that story at the beginning of the stream when it was much, much earlier and YouTube was still trying to actively promote it. I think now it's getting late and it's seeing that a lot of people are going to bed in this area of the world, and it's starting to promote it less and less. Although, again, last time we did a lot better later, but I can't remember what day it was on. So it might have, I'm trying to remember if it was the weekend, which might have made more sense. But I'll have to go back and look in a little bit. But I appreciate you all being here for this stream. Again, we will try to do another travel stream probably next time instead of doing the Command Center stream, even though I do want to do another one here soon as the sign is 100% complete. I still do have to trim the end of the lights a little bit more on the 5 there. There's a section of lights that's popping up because that's the end of the string. I had trimmed it, but not all the way, just to make sure that I still had some slack and whatnot. And then I have to cover the receiver box over here. There, the little white receiver box, so that it blends in a little bit better. And then obviously wash the walls because I still have all the lines that I drew to line it up as perfectly as possible. So it's getting there though. But again, I sort of I guess, what is that old saying? You put the horse before the cart. I sort of made a really amazing streaming space, but I have a no functioning stream. Well, slightly functioning stream. But like I said, I just might need to keep it going a few more times and do it more regularly, and then we might be back to the numbers we were at before. Because from what I remember last time too, it did sort of acted sort of funky for the first like 2 or 3 streams back, and then by like the 4th and 5th stream back, that's when it was starting to really take off. So I think I'm just sort of getting a little bit nervous about things, but I need to not be nervous and more just kind of take the chance, because I mean, if we're gonna make the channel work, we're gonna have to make it work. And yeah, if I'm ever gonna get to that cutoff and see if my predictions about the algorithm and the connection between the monetization and the algorithm really is true, and it, not only me, but me and other creators that think this is true, then it will be apparent when the channel becomes monetized, because it means that the algorithm will begin to promote the channel more. So we'll see if it's true. We'll see if maybe we can prove it scientifically, because we should be able to make this problem simply disappear into thin air by making decent, entertaining content on a regular basis. And by the rules of YouTube, we theoretically, if what they're saying is true about everything and what we're saying is true about everything, and if those work together, maybe we'll still be able to build something. So, and maybe there's still hope left. But yeah, we're gonna run the experiments, do a few other things, see if it works. But as for tonight, I think this experiment's over, and I think we've proven that it's not doing anything, at least to the non-monetized channels that are not streaming very often. So yeah, anyway, I appreciate you coming and hanging and talking with me here for a few hours. It was a lot of fun. Happy to show you guys the new updates to the Command Center, and there should be some more coming here. Hopefully some more lighting and some more fun stuff and more fun content. So as far as the day, again, we're gonna have the new 539 episode out here in a few hours, and then we'll probably do another live stream Thursday or Friday. I don't know exactly when, because I gotta get these clips together and start working on the new content, but I'm gonna say tentatively Thursday or Friday, at least for a travel stream, and then maybe a new Command Center stream this weekend. Maybe we'll see. I've been able to get more done, thankfully, now that it's staying light longer, and slowly the weather is starting to cooperate. So it should give me more time to experiment around with other things, especially when we're having all these algorithm issues. So that's good. So it just means more chances for things to actually work out the way they should. But, yeah, we'll definitely be doing some more travel. Yeah, the main problem right now is just the frustrating process of trying to get YouTube to work the way it should from the beginning, the way it did from the beginning, until it stopped. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to keep talking about that over and over. But, again, I also don't think that people should be punished for trying new content just because there's this weird algorithm that says, this is different, I'm not going to promote. So, but that'll end that there. But at any rate, again, Thursday or Friday we'll be back on here with hopefully a travel stream. If not, I will just do another Command Center stream here. And don't forget to watch the new episode out in a few hours here on 539. If you haven't been notified and you have your notification bell turned on, make sure you check in on it because the episode is already done. It's not uploaded yet, but it is already done, and so it will be uploaded here shortly, and will be scheduled to come out at a specific time, which I'll put up on Instagram here in a little bit. So if you haven't heard anything, check please, because right now, more than ever, it's important. Again, just go youtube.com/539productions. You can see, all the recent episodes that have come out, all the recent uploads, and there's no way to miss something if you go there and check it out. So if you haven't heard anything from 539 Productions in a while, there's a chance I took a break, but more than likely it's probably that the algorithm just didn't push that notification to you. So make sure you go and check it out directly, because there's no way to count on it anymore. A big channel or a small channel. That's not a complaint from me about me. That whatever creator is that you're promoting, whether it's me or somebody a lot bigger like Dan Bell or Adam the Woo, make sure you're checking on their channels actively now, because the notifications are not going out for them either, at least not all the time. So, and I'm sure a lot of you can attest to that too, that it's not just my channel that you're having issues getting notifications on, it's a lot of channels. Yeah, support your local and small YouTube creators. Let's not create another situation where only the Hollywood elite are allowed to create entertainment. Let's not allow YouTube to be taken over by that market. Let's remind them that small creators is what created this platform and made a place for the traditional people to save their form of media, and that's what YouTube did. We made a space where it was possible to take dying mediums and breathe life back into them. And now it's time for even for them to pay back to the smaller creator and make sure that we're a part of what they're doing, So, and that starts off with people like you. The audience is king, and that's all of you. And when they see that that's what you want, then that's when things truly change. So, with that being said, many thanks again, and I will see you hopefully on 539. Hopefully we'll see all of you there. I'll be I've been trying to respond to a few comments right away and then respond to a few things that come in later. So I am trying to respond on the day of uploads too. So I'll hope to see a few of you over there here in a few hours. And again, see the rest of you here on Thursday or Friday. So many thanks, and to all of you, a good night.